Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for August 13th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 27 live feeds. It was day 36 in the house, and there was plenty of back and forth about the upcoming vote, as well as some drama, some fighting going on. And with me to talk through it all is AJ. How you doing, AJ?
I'm doing well, Taran. I'm glad to be here to talk through this day with you. And I will say I love the gym. I think the boxing ring is like a perfect place to have all confrontations moving forward.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. All right. So, as you know, with Ava as the HOH, she nominated Keanu, Vince, and Zach for eviction. Catherine won the veto, did not use it. Zach did not use his power to save himself, despite being told that he could be in trouble this week, which he very much could be. Now, Zach did tell Morgan that he had the power and didn't use it in order to protect her from going up on the block. And we soon find out over the course of the day today that this has seemingly swayed her back to his side over Vince. So that is something to keep in mind as we run through the events of the day. But otherwise, we are mostly looking at this back and forth, the different voting scenarios: Vince versus Zach, Vince versus Keanu, Zach versus Keanu, and much of it comes down to where Mickey falls, but there is some stuff here and there about where other people might fall as well. So we're going to get into all of it here.
Yes, I think that today has been a very exciting day. I think a lot of people said a lot of different things about where their vote is going to head. It's not clear to me how tomorrow's going to play out. So I think that's what's very exciting about this, to see where Mickey lands. I do think Mickey, like what Mickey wants, Mickey will get, but I like the factions of being like, do we want Mickey to get what Mickey wants in this game in general?
Yes. And here's the thing too. We're not going to get too in the weeds here because it has been so back and forth, and there's a whole day today where things are honestly likely to change again. So just keep all of that in mind. There is still some interesting things to get through, though. Primarily being, in all of this, we've been counting Ashley and Rachel as pretty locked in votes against either Zach or Vince, especially against Keanu. However, they have both had their own journeys with Zach over the last few days. Rachel with her long conversation about wanting to work with him during the punishment and following up with that. Ashley with her conversation that she had with Zach and Morgan about potentially working together and clearing up the air about like who will Zach choose to bring to who between Morgan and Lauren. And so they are currently in a space where they're not really sure between even Keanu and Zach which one they would choose.
And I think that's like very foolish of them. I think they should want to keep Keanu over Zach. I think Zach has clearly shown to be a superior social player, has a lot more bonds, tightly knit bonds. And Keanu, as much as Keanu thinks he's this like great player with all these great connections, like as much as they're like, Rachel has nobody, Keanu is also desperate for allies right now, because I don't know how well insulated he is. So like use him. He's willing to show even when y'all get into fights. Like I think that's the good thing about Keanu. Even when he like gets into a fight with Rachel, that does not sway him on how he views her as a player. And I think that's also good with Ashley, who Ashley is not one to bite her tongue. So I would not be surprised if like Ashley gets in a fight in the future with Keanu, and then they can make up together. Meanwhile, Zach has people like Morgan, has people like Vince, people like Mickey, Lauren. Like Zach has options.
Now, Morgan, again, is also now feeling like potentially she wants to keep Zach over Vince. And in her mind, this is what Lauren wants as well. And so she has a conversation with Lauren about it. Lauren continues to stonewall a little bit, though, not really talking about who she wants to keep in the game, of course, because she actually wants to keep Vince over Zach, but is trying to pretend like she's at the very least torn about the situation. But Morgan is going to start to move around the house, being more pro Zach now. And so that's where Morgan stands, while Mickey is going around anti-Rachel. after the events of the previous couple of days. In particular, she is very upset about Rachel wanting to be in the final three.
It's literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Like I remember when like MVP was basically like on the podcast, I don't desire to be humble. And like that's just Rachel. Like, I'm not here just to be okay with sitting on jury and voting for one of y'all to win. Because we know that's basically what it's been coded for. Like, we want Rachel on jury because we think Rachel will vote for us. And Rachel is a player, like, it doesn't matter that she won before. You don't come back on Big Brother if you don't love the game and want to play hard. Like, that's why I feel like there's it's too exhausting, too draining, too long away from your family stuff. Like, play to win. Like, and I don't think Rachel's like anti sitting on the jury. I think Rachel has no issue sitting on a jury and voting for someone to win. I think the issue with Rachel is like, hey, you're solely dragging me along just so you can stick me on jury first, when no, I'm a player with autonomy and want to fight to stay. And if you think that's going to happen, you got another thing coming. So I love how like Mickey and Morgan are spinning this to be like, now Rachel's like basically a bad person because she doesn't want to sit on jury for me. Like,
yes. In addition to that, of course, Keanu ratted out that Rachel ratted out the heavy hitters to Vince, who ratted it out to Mickey. And so now Mickey is also anti-Rachel due to the fact that she has ratted out the heavy hitters. Though, again, to be clear, she was plenty anti-Rachel before that as well. However, the key here that has turned Mickey against Keanu is that Keanu ratted it out to Vince and Vince ratted it out to Mickey. And now Mickey is worried that not only is Rachel somebody that annoys her, but somebody that is potentially against her with Keanu together, then she might want to break that up. In addition to that, she's been hearing all kinds of things about Keanu in terms of him going around talking about the temperature check and all of that. However, on top of all of this, she is also very mad at Morgan because, as you might recall, yesterday she had the conversation with Keanu asking him about the temperature check situation. And in that conversation, he revealed to her that Morgan talked to him about how she was influencing Ava and Ava's nominations. And so now Mickey has also been running around talking all kinds of smack about Morgan. And she can't really stop herself.
Like, listen, Mickey has enough hate in her heart to go around. Like, she does not need to have one target only. Like, and I would say, like, Rachel, that was bad on Rachel. And I get what Rachel's trying to do, like distancing herself from the heavy hitters and be like, I wasn't even a part of it. Like, sure, that I think that's a viable thing for Mickey to be annoyed with. But like, let's not sit here and pretend like Mickey last week did not betray Rachel and betray her other ally Jimmy, and like everything that's being doing is like unfounded. Like, Mickey has put herself in a position where like people just do not feel like open with Mickey. Like, it's like Mickey's way or the highway. Like, Mickey is basically running around like a tyrant, low key. And if you do anything in sight of me, like, that's not okay. Like, if you withhold information for 3 days, like, that is not okay. Like, how dare you? You should come to me immediately. Like, you shouldn't be sitting next to this person during dinner, because why would you monopolize the time? Like, I think Mickey is really going on this high key power trip. It's like insane to me. And listen, Morgan hasn't been perfect as an ally. Keanu is Keanu. I don't know what we were expecting, but it's still like it frustrates me to all get out the way that Mickey just think that she is the end all be all to this game, which she is right now. Like, at the current moment, she is. But like, it's not going to last forever if these people like have 2 brain cells. Let's pause. You know what? Pause. That might be a high bar. I should not have said that. I should not have said that. I might be.
Yes. So Mickey does eventually talk to Morgan about this situation, about Morgan, and the whole thing about Morgan saying that Mickey had influence and all of this. She's up in the boxing gym with Morgan. Morgan, it's kind of weird. Weird is her word. She loves saying weird when she means I hate you. It's kind of weird that you don't really know a lot about me. You know a lot about Vince and Zach. You talk a lot with them, Morgan. You talk a lot with them. And I know we're trying to like keep our distance, but like you don't talk a lot with me. I feel like you don't really know much about me at all. And this is, of course, Morgan's whole thing. No, nobody talks personal with me. Nobody talks game with me. And Morgan, it's like, oh yeah, that's just who I am, you know. Like, I mean, listen, Morgan, I try to pull you. I feel like you pull other people all the time, and I try to pull you, and you know, I just feel like we don't have a lot of like opportunity, and that really sucks, you know. And I'm not really the kind of person that does that. I don't press myself on people because I'm a good person, you know. And so I don't want you to think that. And Mickey's like, well, listen, Morgan, I haven't been paranoid in this house until now. Because I'm hearing that you said all this stuff about, you know, that I influenced Ava's HOH, that you talked to Keanu about this, so on and so forth. And Morgan's like, what? No, that's not how it happened. I did not say that. Keanu is the one that said that to me. I didn't say it. And Mickey's like, interesting. Interesting. So what you're telling me is that you are admitting to knowing about this and not telling me about it. Weird.
Pause. Vicky did love saying weird yesterday a lot. She really did. But it's like, and I get it. Like Morgan, like, well, Mickey has this idea of like, if we're supposed to be number one allies, or we're supposed to be this close to you, like if you hear a side against me, you should come to me, X, Y, and Z. However, I don't think Morgan has literally done anything to prove that like Mickey is higher than like Zach or Vinny in her books. Like truthfully.
I mean, like, for as much as this is a weird conversation, like in this instance, Mickey has some right of this. Morgan did talk to Keanu about Mickey influencing Ava's HOH, and he talked to her about targeting Mickey, and Morgan didn't say a word about it. In fact, she started spreading that around a little bit. And so when Mickey is like, well, why didn't you tell me about this? Morgan is like, well, I didn't get a chance to. I mean, I keep trying to talk to you, and they're like in the middle of a private conversation that they've been having for the last 10 minutes. I just feel like I don't have a lot of opportunities to talk to you. They've talked to each other more than any two people have talked to each other in this house for the last couple of days. I feel like we just don't have a lot of opportunity. I was waiting for the right I was trying to figure out how to tell you.
Like, listen, I'm not saying that Morgan is right. Like Morgan is actively in the wrong. Like Morgan, if this was like really a thing that Morgan cared about, she should have told Mickey instead of doing what Morgan does. But with that being said, I think Mickey saw how Morgan reacted on her HOH when Mickey was like not 100% with Morgan. Like Morgan almost had a freak out on Mickey. I think Mickey, the right thing for Mickey to do here is instead of like confronting Morgan and basically shaming her for withholding this piece of information, be like, okay, I'm locking this in. Morgan is not someone I can completely trust like I used to think. Now I need to pivot and find some other avenues because maybe there are other people around that want to work with me, and I should not have Morgan's best interest at heart. Mickey's like, for a big part of the day, it's like not 100% with Morgan anymore, but still, like, I love confrontation. Lord knows I love confrontation in the Big Brother house. But like, if you want to be this good game player, you don't basically shame someone into near tears. Granted, Morgan cries frequently, but you don't shame someone to near tears for them not being 100% honest with you when you're also running around doing a lot of stuff in this game. And you're also being like having a lot of fingers and paws.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, to be clear from my end, at least, while I do think that Mickey is in the right of this one, she's often not in the right, and she's acting the same. And either way, the way that she's acting is pretty wild.
It's insane. Like Morgan's insane, and also the same person. Like the fact that this has been so hard on her this entire week, when she's like safe, like she hasn't been touched. Like, are people like being like, yeah, I want to target Morgan next week? Yeah, 100% sure. But like, Zach could go home, Vince could go home, and like they spend more time comforting Morgan, like, which is actually ridiculous.
So she says, listen, Morgan's like, listen, I get it. If you don't want to work with me anymore, I understand. And Mickey's like, I just but don't you think it was just weird? She's like, I've been trying to find a way to tell you. That's all I have. That's all I've got. Okay, that's fine. No, it's not fine. No, I think it's effed up, but that's okay. And then she walks out the door.
Walks away. Honestly, love that ending. Honestly, like she has a flair for the dramatics, and I respect that from me. Like truly.
Yes, a bit of a tiff here between the two of them. After Mickey leaves, Morgan sits by herself. I don't know what to do. I mean, I tried to talk to her. I just don't have a lot of opportunity. And I was like, Morgan, to the cameras, you're giving the I didn't have a chance excuse? Really? I'm starting to feel like Mickey right now. This is a little weird.
It is a little weird because I will give Mickey this. Like, let me tell you something, Taran. It is actively not hard to be like, hey, Mickey, come here for a second. Hey, watch out. This was said. Go back to what you're doing. Like, it does not need to be this long, drawn out 40-minute conversation. Like, just like a heads up would be the best. Like, saying you didn't have the time or opportunity. Like, you pull people, Mickey pull people. No one's going to be shocked that you pull Mickey. Like, y'all are not going to have more eyes on you because you do it.
Here's an explanation I would accept to the cameras. Well, okay. Yeah, I didn't tell you, Mickey, because every time I tell you anything, you freak out at me. If I had told you that Keanu was coming for you, you would have been mad at me for being in the conversation in the first place. Why didn't you say no? Why didn't you shut it down? Why were you even talking to Keanu in the first place? That's what would have been your response. So of course I didn't tell you. But no. It's I didn't have a chance.
Like, I think it's like very much a state of like, Morgan's very much in a victim state. Like this is all being put on me. Like I have this cross I have to bear, and people just do not understand like how difficult it is.
No, AJ, you don't even understand. My best friends are on the block right now. My best friends. And maybe I shouldn't be doing all of this, but I just can't help it. It's who I am, because I'm not going to leave my best friends up there.
like what did she say? Like I even consider saying, hey, put me up so that way I can sacrifice myself. But then I'm like, I gotta think about.
And you know what, AJ, my flaw,
my weakness is that I can't do
too much. Okay, that's my biggest flaw. That's a quote from the live feeds.
That's funny. That's funny.
I just hope that clip was small enough we don't get flagged.
Oh my god.
So Mickey goes out of this conversation, talks to Catherine about wanting to get rid of Keanu. Keanu's been doing all of this stuff. Now she's learned that Keanu has even been talking about he's the one that said that about her. Okay. Thing is, Catherine doesn't mind taking Keanu out over Vince, but does still want Zach out over Keanu and pushes back to evict Zach. We shouldn't leave the two of Zach and Vince in the game together if we can help it, especially if we can get Zach out. And so there's a little bit of pushback here on Mickey. And Mickey is in the middle of describing the whole interaction with Morgan at the same time. And she's like, you know what? I kind of want to just pull Keanu and Morgan in the same room together and see what happens. So she does.
like I love it. Like this is so exciting. Like y'all aren't ready for this.
I wish it were more exciting. I wish that this led to something more interesting, but it really was. And maybe AJ, you found more enjoyment out of it than I did. But it was really just like
came from this.
Okay. From my perspective, it was largely just Keanu being like, "What? No." I was just trying to keep Vince.
It was Keanu being no. Morgan huddled literally in the corner, like almost like in a fetal position, like being like, no. You did say this, Keanu, and you said this. I was like, no.
I didn't have that conversation with you. I was just trying to protect Vince. That's really all that was happening. I mean, I was pointing out some groups maybe, but I was really just trying to get you to keep Vince. That's all.
It truly, I think we learn a lot of time in Big Brother history. It does not matter like who's right in the literal argument. It's about how you come off in the argument. And this argument, I will say Keanu won 10 days out of 10 because like Mickey was like straight up on, not Mickey, Morgan was straight up on her bat foot the entire time. Like Keanu was like just comfortable, calm, like being like, no matter of fact, this is how it happened, and like Morgan's over here spiraling low key, and like it feels like Mickey sitting on her side, just like being the referee, like actively feeling like she's agreeing with Keanu and what Keanu's saying, like which makes Morgan in a worse position.
Which is wild because Morgan is the one telling the truth.
Yeah.
And Keanu is lying straight out of his enlarged buttocks that he ripped. Like he's completely lying. And Morgan's like, but we talked about that. And he's like, did we? I don't remember saying that. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. And she's like, man, I guess it's not what happened.
My favorite line, Keanu, and Keanu repeats this throughout the day. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would I say that?
Yeah. Why would I blow up my game like that? Listen, if you can trust one thing, I'm not stupid. I wouldn't do something that stupid.
Which, like, like, have you met Keanu? He actually would. Like, this is Keanu's forte.
So Keanu ends up leaving, although I don't know if there's anything else from this, AJ, that you wanted to talk about.
So Mickey and Morgan stays a little bit after, and they keep I don't know if you're going to get into this, but they kept rehashing it. And Mickey drops the line, says, Morgan, have you ever thought that it was your fault that Zach and Vince were even put on the block?
Yeah. Have you thought about that? And listen, hey, you can say what you will about Jimmy. This is later, but you can say what you will about Jimmy. At least he told me things, At least he told me things. You go right to Vince and Zach about everything. You don't come to me. Jimmy came to me. He was a snake, but at least he came to me.
Utterly ridiculous. Like, utterly ridiculous, Taran.
No. So all of that goes down. They're still not like 100% yet. No. And Mickey has been seemingly swayed by Keanu. And it's getting to the point where maybe Mickey is back on board with keeping Keanu to some degree. But, we'll see. In the meantime, Vince is on his own little journey through the day. He talks with Kelly. And just as a reminder, Vince is in the egg costume. And during one of the conversations with Kelly, he is turtled in the egg costume, and she has to speak into the armhole.
No, and there's one point, it was after the confrontation, like Kelly's in one armhole, Keanu's in the other armhole.
But after a couple of conversations, he's asking Kelly about the vote. She says, of course, I've got you versus Zach. But when he asks about her vote when it comes to him versus Keanu, she kind of dodges the question. And it becomes clear to him, oh my God, I don't have Kelly. When did that happen? Apparently, I've somehow lost Kelly's vote now. Like, I don't know why. I don't know when Kelly and Keanu got that close. So I don't understand what's happening there. But now I feel like it's going to be unanimous. I feel like Keanu's going to stay over me. I feel like Zach's going to stay over me. And this honestly isn't even fair. Like I'm stuck in this suit. And he talks to Lauren. And he's like, Lauren, I mean, at least I've got you and Morgan, right? And she's like, I talked to Morgan this morning, and I'm not sure she's... Now I've lost Morgan Morgan too. This is so not fair. Like, I'm stuck in the egg suit, and he gets to be shirtless, and he's like, oh, so handsome and alpha, and like he gets to charm people, and I'm not alpha at all, and I'm stuck in this suit, and I'm not able to do anything. This is so not fair.
like Vince like literally goes on an active spiral, just so baffled that, like, first off, confused like why Kelly would have any sort of allegiance when like, you know, Keanu's basically been there for Kelly this entire game, and like Vince has like basically kept Kelly on the back burner, and now he's confused why Kelly is like prefers Keanu, and like just also, and sure. He's also wondering like what happened with Morgan and stuff like that. But like the fact that we're like at unanimous territory when like this guy has actively played a really good social game and played a really good strategic game. And I count like in every situation at least 4 or 5 votes that will keep him. Like full stop.
Yeah. He's catastrophizing here. He's not that dead in the water, but it is looking bad for him against Zach all of a sudden, which is pretty wild. Which is largely because of the Zach power situation where he revealed the power. He got Morgan. Flipping Morgan was huge. And so, you know, we'll see what comes of all of that. But Vince is starting to look like he's in some trouble. And so he's telling, like, Lauren, I think you need to tell Morgan that you're voting to keep me, and to make sure that Morgan knows that like that's where some of the votes are. And it's like, I honestly don't know if that would help. Because if Lauren says that she's willing to vote Zach out, that might make Morgan want to keep Zach even more.
Because
Lauren is the main reason she wants Zach gone.
Like Morgan's big thing is like, will Zach choose Lauren over me? Will Zach, and if Lauren's like, yeah, I'm voting out Zach, Morgan's like, the ace in the hole, the ace up my sleeve that I needed.
You just know that if Lauren has a conversation with Morgan where she says, I want to vote out Zach over Vince, we're in for a 4-hour hammock conversation with Zach. Oh, Zach, I have something that's really important to tell you, but I don't know. You can't tell anyone. And, you know, you're really not going to like it. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, we should really talk to each other about things. And, you know, I had a conversation in the storage room today. And, you know, I heard a thing, and it's, you know, you're really going to be really sad about this. And I don't want you to think that it's coming from a place, because I know I'm attracted to you, but like obviously not like attracted to you. But so it's not like that. And it's like, but I know, and I know you would choose Lauren over me, and I really love that. I really love that for you. But I really think you need to know after 4 hours of this that Lauren said she would vote you out. Zach, I'm kind of feeling like a certain way about this right now. I feel like, is there like a reaction that?
You low-key broke my friend, and it's not okay. It's not okay. Oh my goodness.
So what Vince does do is he runs up, knowing that this, despite the catastrophizing, is potentially a close vote. He's going to go upstairs and wake the sleeping dragon that is Ava, because she has, by the way, if you've been wondering where Ava is, she's just been upstairs sleeping all day, which is her MO. It's what she does downstairs all day as well. It's just that she's, you know, the HOH and holds a pretty critical tiebreaker vote this week, and has done basically nothing the entirety of the week.
Like y'all literally, like Ava would come downstairs for a few minutes, and then people like Rachel or Lauren or someone else try to talk to her about like what happens in the tie vote, and Ava would actively like walk away, just walk to a different part of the room, just to avoid the conversation.
Oh, hey Ava, so what are you thinking about the tie, Ava? Sorry, I'm sleepy. Sorry. Sorry, that's just my opinion. So he pitches to Ava as well, like, hey, you know, I really respect your HOH, and you know, so on and so forth. Just, you know, wondering what you might do in a tie situation. And she's like, The lights are off, by the way. She's like, yeah, I'm just kind of sleepy. It's like, yeah, I totally understand. I just really respect you, and I think you're great, Ava. And so I was just wondering, like, how you're feeling about things in general. Just listen, I do appreciate how you've handled the block, quite frankly, compared to some other people. But I don't think I can promise anything to you right now. He's like, oh, that's totally fine. If you just want to like let me know at some point what you were thinking, but I do appreciate it. It's like, yeah, I'm really tired actually. Like, yeah, me too. I'm in this egg suit. So if you just wanted to at some point tell me. It's like, yeah, once I'm not as tired, maybe. And now here's the thing. I do actually think that Vince has a good chance of getting the tiebreaker vote in his favor from Ava. Not necessarily because of this conversation, but her conversation with Mickey the other day, she really was annoyed at the way that Zach was handling the nomination, and she hasn't seen the Vince crash out. He's ironically, as much as he's complained about the egg suit, he gets to hide in it. She doesn't see how annoyed he is. Whereas Zach out shirtless is like, Vince is in his egg costume, like he's the penguin, and he's like, but nobody can see it.
No, I agree. I do think, first off, I love Ava's like MO this week being basically I just did a thing. I just put 3 people up and like, change the house, and that's it. I'm done. Like, I love how Ava's like trying to like have no HOH power, no HOH will, no influence at all. But like also like I do think like of the 3, I feel most comfortable with Vince getting Ava's vote. Like Ava's like not this like as much as people like Rachel tried to and actually like push the anti-Vince agenda, like Ava's like just not a person that's fighting on this. Like Ava like is literally a person that has her own opinions, and I think Vince has done a good job previously, especially compared to Keanu and Zach, of building a good bond with Ava. So I would not be that stressed if I was Vince. If Ava will break the tie, I would check in. with Ava, make sure stuff don't sway, because people keep trying to get into Ava's head.
I would be stressed. I think she could be leaning that way, but honestly, like, who knows at this point?
Who knows at this point? But like, I think this is what I worry about from Vince, and based on how I know Ava to be as a player. Vince tries too hard and turns off Ava. That's what I fear. That's why I'm like, don't stress too much.
Yes. So again, I know, because going into the week, Vince was sort of the primary target. So I know a lot of people have been still looking at it from that lens, but she was having conversations about specifically her disappointment in Zach and how she is more and more willing and wanting for Zach to potentially leave. And so I do think there's a chance she goes in that direction. Now, that said, if she does ever have a conversation with some of her other allies and they continue to push Vince on her, she might do Vince just from that perspective. She may go back to her original perspective. I do think it's still potentially up in the air here. So just
especially
to
like
make sure
Will,
it's pointed out.
I think Will has expressed like that's his preference, is to see Vince go this week. And I think Will probably has the most weight with Ava.
I think so, but the thing is that Will's perspective, being pro Zach, is seems to primarily come from the veto situation, which I don't think holds a lot of weight with other people. And also, Will doesn't tend to push that much anyway. So I think it'll be very interesting to see if it does come down to a tiebreaker there. But it may not. Who even knows at this point? So in the meantime, Mickey is still on her anti-Rachel campaign. She talks to Ashley about how she needs to distance herself from Rachel. Rachel is a sinking ship. You need to stay away.
Which is, it's like ridiculous. Like, it is Rachel a lot of people's target this week? Yes, 100%. Love Rachel for it. But like, let's not sit here and pretend like Ashley has also not been most people's next week's target. Also, like, like this is like Ashley being around Rachel has nothing to do with Ashley potentially being on the block. Like, people been wanting Ashley on the block. Her distancing herself from Rachel is literally just like, in my opinion, it's just Mickey trying to isolate Rachel more in this house, because how dare Rachel have an opinion?
There's also a funny moment where Keanu is talking to Kelly about Vince, and he says he has deals with everyone. He's like Tyler, although that came back to bite Tyler in the end. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. How is it that these people know nothing about the show and they still manage to find out the falsity that is Tyler was screwed by having too many final twos? How?
Like, listen, I would, as much as I dislike Tyler's All-Stars game, like Tyler was doing a lot better in Big Brother 20 than that, and that's not the reason why Tyler lost. Like Tyler lost because of a couple relationships.
Every
that
one
Casey
of his
had.
final twos that he actually maintained voted for him.
They, like it just so happened that Casey also happened to be a really good social player that had good ties with the other side. Like,
all of the people
God
he
forbid.
didn't have final twos
God
with,
forbid.
or the ones that he completely abandoned, those were the ones that didn't vote for him.
So, you know.
Anyway,
but I also do not want them thinking on this track and then thinking like, okay, maybe we could take Vince to the end because of this logic train, because they will be setting themselves up for failure if they do that.
Well, it's just like, oh man, he's like Tyler, but that's not a threat because he'll lose a jury vote. So Morgan has a lengthy conversation with Zach. This is when she says,
My weakness is that I can't do much.
and then they start joking around. They're talking to the cameras. Zach starts doing a bit, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, it's hey America, Julie says expect the unexpected." So I'm expecting a power from y'all. Save your boy Zach. I'm walking around shirtless for you. So give me a power, America.
Taran, don't piss me off. Do not piss me off. Like, this man actively, look on your little graphic. This man actively has a power that could save him this week if he wanted to use it. Like, pause. This man actively knew that he was in freaking danger going into the veto ceremony, had a veto and chose not to use it. And I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean I could go home? Who could have foresaw this? Who could have ever seen this coming? Zach, you could have. These people are not slick. They're not smooth operators. Like they have done nothing to prove to you that like you are safe. And the fact that they've been wobbly this entire week is par for this cast. This is not a solid cast. This is flaky AF. So sir, use your veto. Save. Who gives a darn too? And if Morgan's on the block, guess who ain't on the block? It's you. It's you, bruh.
You know that's the story about like the guy that's on the roof and there's a flood and there's like a boat that comes by and they're like, hey, get on. And he's like, no, I'm praying to God. God's gonna save me. And they're like, okay. And then like another boat comes in. No, I'm praying to God. God's gonna save. And then he dies. And God's like, I sent you a boat, dude. Why didn't you take it? Zach.
Like, oh my goodness.
You don't need a power from America when you have a power. You have one. What do you mean?
Like, Jesus, bro. like, listen, let me tell you something. I'm not even a Zach hater, right? I need Zach to go home. I need him gone. I need him out of this house. Like, it's only for like everyone who interviews him be like, so why on God's green earth did you not use your power this week? Like, give me 2 good reasons why. I need Zach to be not publicly shamed, but at least in the interview shamed.
Well, don't worry, AJ. He continues, like, so give me a power, America. That's your boy, Zach here. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm here with Lauren, Morgan. And she goes, oh, did you just call me Lauren? No, I didn't. I said Morgan.
Zach, you need to be careful. Don't piss off one of the people that's most loyal to you. Don't do it. Doing himself no favors, none at all.
So,
like, even if this was a gosh darn innocent mistake, you met Morgan. I've seen Morgan. Morgan's not going to respond to this well. Like, I would not be surprised if Morgan brings this up at least 12 times today.
So Will and Ashley talk for a bit about Mickey. They complain about Mickey for a while. They're really tired of like what she's doing. She's obviously trying to play everyone in the house. She's outright talking to them about who should I take to the final two, not them. And like all kinds of nonsense. They're like, man, when she touches the block, it's gonna be wild. And they also talk about Zach and how they definitely want to evict Vince over Zach. But you know what? We also kind of want to evict Keanu over Zach. They're both Will in part due to the veto scenario and the relationship that he feels he has with Zach at this point. I guess the Burger Bros were reunited. And Ashley feels like she's managed to reconnect with Zach as well. And she is now thinking that she also wants to potentially vote for Keanu even to go out over Zach, which would make sure that Keanu leaves over Zach. If those two votes are there, Keanu's done, regardless of what Mickey chooses.
Like I understand the concept from I don't, but like I get Will coming from like, okay, Zach used this veto on me, X, Y, and Z. I have some loyalty to Zach because Zach's shown me some kindness in this game, and I get that Ashley thinks like, you know, she's been able to rekindle her relationship with Zach. Meanwhile, the Keanu relationship's mainly been built up with Rachel, not as much with Ashley. Like those who have not been communicating as much as the other two have. So like between the two, she might feel better with Zach than Keanu. Keanu has Kelly. Keanu has, and I point period Kelly. Zach has Morgan, comma, Vince, comma, Mickey, comma, Lauren, comma, right? You are not a priority for this man. Y'all are actively not. You just confronted him the other day about him actively wanting to put you on the block. No.
Did you see him shirtless though?
You know what?
I don't see Keanu shirtless very often.
I really, you're not wrong.
He's wearing a whole costume right now.
They saw his butt.
All right. So then there is a very long conversation between Mickey and Morgan that gets interrupted by Zach, and then Mickey and Morgan even more. And it's just a very lengthy back and forth. Mickey had seemingly been swayed toward keeping Keanu again, argues this to Morgan, but Morgan keeps arguing for keeping both Zach and Vince if possible. And they go back and forth again. Morgan brings out like the M&Ms and starts like showing off all of the piece. None of it makes any actual sense in terms of supporting her point, but she just keeps pushing in that direction. Then again, like Zach comes in and he's like, oh, I'm willing to volunteer for the block if you need me to. Like, I'm definitely going to choose you guys over Lauren. Don't worry about it. And then he leaves and they keep talking. And it's like, well, if we were to keep Zach, we would have to make sure we get rid of Lauren. And Morgan's like, good idea. By the end of the night, they're like, we're going to keep talking about this. But the current thing they've landed on is, yes, keeping Zach and Vince, potentially even keeping Zach over Vince in that scenario as well. So again, this is like where they've currently left off. There's a whole day today. Things have continued to go back and forth. But as of right now, Zach could likely stay in both scenarios against Keanu and Vince. Against Vince, Zach stays, Vince leaves. And against Zach, Keanu leaves. Keanu versus Vince is closer at this point. And right now, Vince could stay by a hair, but it's very close.
You see me over here trying to count the votes as you say it. Yeah, I think Vince and Keanu is like literally the most interesting because I know Keanu's camp is Will, Rachel, Kelly, Ashley. Vince's camp will be Morgan, Zach. I think Catherine and Riley both said earlier in the day that they wanted to keep Vince. And it really does lie with Mickey, which is like so exciting. We love that energy. Oh, and Morgan's also with Zach. So I think for good TV, that's like the most exciting.
Yeah, so just to maybe try to make this a little bit clear. Well,
Yeah.
not that this will be clear at all if you're listening. Keanu versus Vince. Vince definitely, for sure, has Ashley, Rachel, and Will voting him out. And Kelly seems to be on that page as well. So 4 votes locked in against Vince when he's up against Keanu. We also have a pretty good idea that Ava would break the tie to evict Vince over Keanu. So if one more vote comes, then Vince leaves. However, that one more vote might be tough to get because obviously Morgan, Lauren, so Morgan and Lauren are definitely locked in to keep Vince, and Zach. So that there's 3 votes there locked in to keep Vince, and he needs 3 more. Those would be Riley and Catherine, who he does currently have, although they have been 50-50 in the past, and then Mickey, who has seemingly been convinced to keep Vince over Keanu for now. And so that would make it 6-4. But if Mickey switches, it would be 5-5. Vince might leave. So that's currently where things stand there. Then it's Vince versus Zach. Right now, Zach stays easily, which is not the case. It was not the case like yesterday, the day before, but has flipped, has swapped over now. Zach beats Vince right now. If it's Zach versus Keanu, it could also be a landslide if Will and Ashley maintain their pro-Vince stance. If Mickey also maintains it, then it's just straight up a landslide. It's not much of a question. So now that said, Catherine and Riley will still be anti-Zach votes. Rachel could be, but she even she has sort of like thought about it. So we'll see about that. But that's where things currently stand with the votes.
If I was to give Keanu some advice of what to do today, I need him to get into a fight with Rachel and Mickey to be an observer there. Because the moment Mickey thinks Keanu's putting up Rachel, I think Mickey could flip back and be like, you know what, Keanu, you should stay. Because Mickey's on her anti-Rachel mess right now.
Yes. So we'll see. People are saying Vinny versus Zach should be 5-5. So let's just count this to be sure. But if Ashley, Will, Mickey, Morgan are Rachel. All and Rachel are all pro Zach, that is 5. Then Kelly, Catherine, Riley, Lauren, and who am I missing? Keanu would be pro Vince. You're right. This is actually 5-5. And that's with Ashley and Will switching over. So maybe not quite the landslide there, but all of the people that Ava would side with are pro Zach in that spot. And I think that she would break the tie probably against Vince there.
I think so. Wait, I can't make the promise. You know what? I'm taking that back. I'm taking that think so back. Oh,
it's tough. It's a tough one.
And listen, let me tell you something. Tomorrow can come. We can have the live show, and y'all can say AJ's the fool. I don't think this is coming to a tie, no matter what. I don't think these people I don't think someone like Lauren, who I like. Lauren has clearly been not expressing her opinion, especially when someone says they want to keep Zach, and Lauren just shuts down. But I don't think some of these people are just going to stick to their guns during that time span. So I can see a lot of them being like, "Oh, where's the votes?" Da 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 da. And I think one side is more gun ho than the other side.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think at the end of the day, this doesn't really matter right now. I think tune in tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. I will have an updated vote count for you because today's vote count is wildly different than yesterday's, which was wildly different than the day before. So we'll see what happens today with all of that. The key things to keep track of are just the continued separation of Rachel from the house being a target, the Keanu stuff moving back and forth, him continuing to, even though he recognizes what Vince is doing, continuing to give him way too much information, and the small little pieces of people moving in different directions at the moment. But stay tuned.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, I will give you the update before the eviction on Thursday night. In the meantime, make sure you check out my book, Behind the Mirror, TaranArmstrong.com. Pre-order it. Anything else to bring up, AJ?
One small little thing, and it's like the anger, to the villainization, the demonization of Rachel, especially in the eyes of people like Mickey and Morgan. I genuinely think it's uncalled for. Like, I think Rachel was the person that, while Morgan was in the shower being like, it's okay, I'm friends with many people I played with, I think we're all gonna be friends, it's just a game, X, Y, and Z. Like, and Rachel, like, even giving like Morgan the grace of being like, even if Vince and Zach leaves, like, you should still hang out with them because you're close with them. These are bonds that you are not going to break, X, Y, and Z. Like, I think Rachel has been like nothing but gracious to these women. Like, I think Rachel is not a person that suffers fool and will tell you when she thinks you're wrong about something, but she's been nothing but kind to these people. And I would like the kindness to be shown back, and not the meanness and angerness that I've been seeing. Now listen, let me tell you something. They ain't gonna hear this, but that's what I would like.
It honestly, it reminds me a little bit of what I remember from Big Brother 14. The vitriol that people have for a former winner coming back in, and the level of like, they don't deserve this. This is our time. Is definitely like high. Now, in Big Brother 14, it was like a larger group of people, I would say, whereas this season it's mostly Mickey and Morgan, mostly Mickey, really. But it still kind of exists generally in the house, and Mickey certainly loves spreading it around. She just talks a lot about who deserves to be there, and Rachel is not one of those people. She apparently deserves to be on the jury. But not anymore, because now she'd be a bad juror. So it's pretty interesting, but it is what's going on.
Yeah, but like I still think there's a lot of fun people. If I know Rachel, Rachel's not going to go down without a fight. So I still think there's like a lot to look forward to in this season. I know some people ain't feeling this season, me included, but don't give up hope.
My weaknesses.
All right. Well, make sure you tune in tonight. I'll be live on YouTube and Twitch watching the episodes, so stay tuned for that. And then there'll, of course, be a podcast here on RHAP after. And then tomorrow, an update. We have an eviction, all of that good stuff. So stay tuned for all of it. You can also check out The Tastemakers. Should be dropping soon. We talked with Taylor Hale about weapons, as well as previewing the upcoming, or not upcoming anymore, Alien Earth TV show. So tune into that podcast over at We Know Scripted TV. Anything else to talk about, AJ? Anything else to bring up, to plug?
Nothing about the day. Again, you can follow me on Twitch at the kid AJ Norris. Go follow me there. I'm going to be playing games there soon. So, good times.
Do it. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. And I will see all of you next time.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.